Last one. Fully in. And on the exhale, stop. 1.5 minute breath hold from now on. Become aware of the blood running through your veins, your heart beating. Feel. Seconds.
All right, everybody, what's up? Just gonna turn on some music. Hello, YouTube chat. Also, hello to, let's see here, hello to IBXRR and Dhruv Patil. Hello. Hope everyone is doing great on this wonderful day. Let's see, so... What is the progress? Progress is good. Progress is good. Let's see. So, I'm making a build right now for the new test version. Yeah, same here, dude. Same here. I'm gonna do run through a few bugs. So we're gonna see here, file, preferences. Oh no, it's build profiles here. Okay, we're on the right build. So there are a couple bugs I'm just gonna run through. Specifically these, I think maybe not manual region select, but can you cure me, please? Are you sick? Have soup. Am I right? Yeah. Just a little joke. You know, you know. COVID. COVID, that's so 2020, am I right? People still get that shit. Okay. We're gonna play Pongo City and see what these reports are letting us know about. If you want to cure COVID, here's the way to cure COVID. So basically, you hold your breath for 10 seconds, and then yeah, I mean, they think that that's what they say. Or is it like drink water when you're upside down? I forget. I don't know enough about COVID to say for sure, but I think, yeah, it's like hold your breath for 10 seconds or like drink water upside down. It's one of the two. The new build is being made, Mega. It's being made on my computer as I speak, so should be up today. The new testing version. I had a couple of hitches getting it out and ready, so. But right now I'm just doing a couple of fixes. Damn, I mean, this is running so like smooth now that I've made these. I made some performance changes. It's running like insanely much better. Silky smooth, I tell you what. Okay, let's see here. So someone was saying that in the that's the bank. Well, it is in the jail and the bank, I guess, the issue people were having. I made a helmet and number plate detection system recently, but it's overfitting. A helmet and number plate, like for helmet detection for like traffic and numbers on cars. And what do you mean you made it? Did you, I mean... Were you using a data set of like license plates or something? Oh. Yeah, that is true. They're not actually doing anything. Sponsored by your college. I mean, aren't there... Correct me if I'm wrong. I made a couple of yeah, synchronized cage is just turned off. I mean, couldn't you just collect, like, you don't need to annotate, do you? I mean, couldn't you just, you would just, use a, or I guess maybe you do need to annotate, but, yeah. I guess detection is different from classification. I mean, I guess in the end of the day, you are classifying. But there is an element of detection as well, I suppose. I only made classification machine learning models, but that was back in like 2018, which is, you know, 1 year after the famous All You Need Is Attention 2017 paper, which kickstarted the whole AI craze of modern time. My biggest hate to that. I wish they wouldn't have done that. AI was a mistake, guys. Thing is, Indian number plates are a bit complicated, like people use crazy fonts, but hopefully we can do something about it. Yeah. Yeah, this just gets disabled. Because there's no, I mean, there is a network object on it. How was my weekend? Weekend was chill. I think the problem is locked enemy, if locked enemy. So, because the awake fails, and I think if it gets an error in the awake, it ruins the spawn. I think that could be the issue, because it was working when I was playing earlier. Yeah. That is most likely what causes it to shut itself off, to prevent any sort of ripple error. AI is fun. I don't know. Personally, I think it's... To me, AI is so... like, as a toy, I think it is interesting. And I thought it was interesting at the point when it felt like AI was only this toy. It was like, oh shit, you know, we can classify images, we can detect what's in an image, we can, you know, generate these short, wacky texts. But now when it's actually like at the stage where its capabilities are so high that it can actually replace humans in like a meaningful manner, it's just not fun anymore. There's nothing fun about it in my mind. Now it's, you know, it is a question of like, I think AI would be fun if you knew that the way that people would use AI would be to improve the lives of everyone, but you know that's not what they're gonna do. People aren't gonna see any trickle down of the profits that arise from the use of AI. But not only that, I mean the whole, I mean, you can become so cynical when you look at the way that the market acts around something like AI, because I mean anything that has like endless potential also leads to endless speculation. Endless speculation means endless, you know, gambling on the stock market. That's what people are doing. And I mean, you seeing all these like vibe coding websites and like AI services just rise to the top because of endless speculation, and then crash and burn because it turns out the entire thing is a bubble and useless as shit. I mean, you can't vibe code a freaking application and have it do the entire app for you. Sooner or later, you're gonna have to get a real software dev in there, and that's what people are sort of realizing, that, you know, you can only have AI do so much for you until the entire thing falls in on itself. But I mean, the damage has already been done, right? Legit people have been getting fired and replaced by AI in a meaningful way, specifically a lot of juniors, and those juniors are people who are supposed to become seniors who now don't become seniors, and there's going to be like this brain drain from the entire software industry because of some shitty CEO who thinks that, you know, he can do it better than people who have been like trained to do these things. I don't know. I'm very cynical when it comes to the progress of this thing, and I think more so with every day. Even as someone who has previously leveraged AI to boost my efficiency, arguably, I still think it's such a bullshit thing. I just despise it. I think it's a horrible horrible thing. I just do not care for it. I do not care for like the potential profits or whatever, you know. It's like, because these are profits with regards to speculation. The same thing I feel about like the housing market. Like, oh yeah, you should definitely buy a house because this is the best investment you can make. But yeah, but it shouldn't be the best investment you can make. Like, that's absurd to me, that that gambling on houses should be a good investment. Like, houses are where people live. They shouldn't be like a freaking place for speculation and gambling and profits. So I don't know. You can become very black-pilled on the whole situation very easily. Do you think you made a good game? Yeah, I'm happy with it. I mean, it's rough around the edges still. I think we probably went a bit too ambitious with it. We could have thought smarter and faster and quicker, you know, but at the same time, we're making a game we want to make. Would you spend money on it and play it? Yeah, I can't say that because I don't think anyone wants to sit down and play their own game. Like, literally no developer ever is going to want to sit down and do nothing but play their own game. You don't make a game and enjoy it like in the same way that someone who's playing it. You just can't. What I get out of making this game is not the fact that I get to play it, it's just that I get to make it. Like, that's the joy for me.
Zoopzilla said, I spent money and played T. I recommend. Good game.
Like, an artist doesn't paint a painting so they can look at the painting. They paint a painting because they want to paint. It's... You think, I mean, they will play it, but they're not going to sit there and enjoy it. No, they're probably not. Like that, when you play something you've made, you're not looking at it from the perspective of enjoyment. You're looking at it from the perspective of what could improve every single time. You're always looking at it from that way. And that completely and absolutely removes any sense of enjoyment that you could get out of it. I mean, you can get moments of like, haha, that was silly, that was unexpected. But it's going to pale in comparison to any sort of joy that that anyone could ever get. GTA is an individual project. Yeah, but I mean, if you've made... Like, look, I have many friends who work in game development, right? Every single one of them, no matter if they're working for a big company or a small company, say the same thing. It's not fun to play the games you've been working on. I had this one friend, he just recently started working for his first, like, AA company. And so he made this first game there they launched recently, and he was going to play it with his friends on launch day, you know, play through the story. And they had, like, set the date, you know, they were going to play it together. And then the guy's like, you know what? I just can't do it. Just cancel this playthrough thing we're gonna do. I just can't do it. I'm so over this game. Absolutely done with it. I do not want to play it through with you. And it's like, yeah, it's every single person says the same thing. If you've been working on GTA and you've been developing the driving system, you know, or whatever, you're just gonna be done with it. And keep in mind, these people have worked on this game for however many years, 10 whatever years, worked on GTA 6. You think after 10 years of working on it, they're like hyped to play it when they've already played it for however long? Like, no, they're not. Doesn't matter if it's like an individual or AAA or whatever. Yeah, I mean, that's part of it. There's no sense of discovery, like zero sense of discovery. But I think more so than that is you've already spent all the time with it. Like, what more is there to get out of the game? Like, Yeah, I think, I mean, especially because we haven't really had the chance to test the multiplayer all that much, and figuring out sort of the shortcomings of the multiplayer would very much be helpful from my perspective. Because, I mean, again, you know, we rewrote the entire multiplayer code base with basically, you know, next to zero testing. Which is not ideal, but, you know, that's the way the cookie crumbled, you know. W streamer, hey, thank you, Daddy Frosty. Okay, I think that should be for the switches. Unless there's another key in here. I don't think so. There's a potato. No, this game is actually mass-produced. It was made in a sweatshop in Indonesia. That's a little-known secret. Why was this disabled? What's this area though? It looks graphically awesome. This is from one of the, like, there's 20 heists in this game. So this is Pongo City. It's underground city in Antarctica. Heists. Yeah, there's 2 more coming up. So Moonbase, Moonside, and Return Home are 2 new heists that are going to come into the game, making it around 20 heists. Not around, but around, you know. As in flat. You know, exactly. On the dot. Hey, yo, we got the... well, this city is... It's an ancient Pongonian city, basically. Pongonian being the forerunners of the penguin race. And it was inhabited by, you know, peaceful penguins, but then overthrown by the so-called Rotten Fish Gang. But yeah, I think we have... I mean, we have another level called Fish City, which is like an actual city. I mean, we have some, you know, big levels. But this is Fish City, which is like, yeah, I mean, it's sort of... You know. Then we have... I think one of the more visually striking levels I like is Jade Mountain. How much the game's completed? Penguin percent. 1 penguin percent. This level here is one of my favorites visually. It's like... up in the sky, this what the heck is that? That the UI, or I think that might be the humane UI. Yeah, I think it is. Interesting. But yeah, it's this mountainous. Yeah, probably would be. We have like this castle, and like up there you have a little military base tucked away. I think there's also. I mean, I love Pongton, but I think I've shown that one. Dude, I think the Nile is probably the most ambitious level we made, but you know, it's not quite living up to all we wanted it to be. But it's significantly the largest level we've made out of all the heists. But you basically have like this small river city by the supposed Nile, you know, obviously not to scale. This little harbor area, some fields, extension of the city, some pyramids. I think one of which you can enter. Yeah, this one here you can enter. Then, just like this, you know, the thing with Penguin Eyes is there's so much to the levels. Like, there's things tucked away. So, like, behind here, you go in and there's actually, like, this little hidden mountain village in here. You have over here an encampment with like a little mini boss, this guy gunslinger. You have this temple up here which has monkey gwyn, so there's a wizard up here who's turning penguins into monkeys, the monkey gwyn wizard. So you can actually go in here and there's like a temple and shit. I think this is one of my favorite parts of the game. I just love like anything that's sort of like tucked away secret, and there's like multiple entrances, so you can like find this outside the temple too. You can get in here. And yeah, there's like a central chamber within the actual temple here where the monkey wizard and then you have see here, you have the tree part here. So there's a group of cultists up here along the ridge which are worshipping this overgrown tree. There's also like a little situation here with a bunch of enemies stacked up in this little situation here, and they're all praising their faithful leader. And then you have this other city here, which is overrun by undead penguins. So here you have to like jump on the rooftops and stuff and find some switches to flip. But then also over here you have a dig site, which those wooden walls, these wooden walls, they were just self-made. Every model in the game is made by us. The external wooden walls. You're talking about these ones? Yeah, it's all custom. Every single one. It's all custom. None of it is bought or otherwise. Yeah. Every single piece, every single model, every single tree is also handmade. The trees are not made procedurally, they're just handmade. Which boss part am I? You're the boss you find strapped down on a chair in the torture room, and you're supposed to torture you with the other fish doing. It's mine and his doing. Both of us make models for the game. so we both make the models. This one is also a fun thing here. So we like to integrate like the, you know, this temple here is the actual main heist. Like this is what you're supposed to do in the level. All the other stuff is just side content. But like the actual level is you go into this temple and you're like going through and you're trying to get this scroll and you have to like avoid traps and stuff, you know, Akataka style fear traps. You have to go into the temple sanctum and you've flipped the switch and then, you know, you have to go through here and avoid like the water traps and swim underwater and yada yada yada. But what's nice is that the actual temple, I mean, you'd think that the temple is like separate from the environment. That's how most games would do it. But there is actually, yeah, this integration up here. So this is actually part. I just love like these small details where it doesn't feel like something is instanced. You know, like everything is part of the world. Like this is peeking into the actual temple. How does one become a game developer? Please don't retell Akataka. Oh. Well, I have a story for you. But yeah, I don't know. We do this shit in every single level. Like we just go over the top with like a bunch of side content. Military base is probably the most egregious. But one of the most beloved side missions that we introduce just at the start of the level, right? So you spawn into the level over here at this boat. And you can go here and you notice this hut. And you go into the hut and there's this wizard here with a ring. And he says that you need to take the ring to the volcano and destroy it. And so you can just, right out the gate, at the start of the mission, you're like, you know what, screw this. I'm not going to infiltrate the secret hidden military base that's hidden like in here and go through this. I'm just going to bring this freaking ring and go through the jungle, and you go through the jungle area and you have to travel across this whole ass part until you get to freaking Mordor, where there's a little scout encampment of baby penguins here at a scout camping trip. You have to go to Mordor and make your way all the way to the freaking volcano, ride the elevator up to the top, and toss the ring into the fire. Yeah, so we go a bit too far with levels. It's like a little journey, you know. But he had to redraw all these paths and shit. He had to redraw all that back when we changed. Damn, so there will be how-to guides on... Yeah, there already are, like, because we have in the game, like, the way you get weapons in Penguin Heist is by doing, like, the side missions, right? And you find, like, blueprints all over the world. And if you unlock a blueprint, you can then buy the weapon in the store. So it's sort of like Collectathon, you know? Old school 2000s Collectathon game, very much. But in a multiplayer context with a main heist as like the mission. But you can play through a full mission, collect all the blueprints, and then finish the main heist, and you're like, you know, 100% of the level, essentially. But yeah, there are guides on how to get all the blueprints. There are videos. Do I look cool in it? And in my boss part, I torture the player or what? No, in your boss part, you're getting tortured and you're strapped to a chair and you can't move, and the players are torturing you and punching you and stabbing you, and you don't have any attacks. The only attack you have is acute diarrhea, where you start shitting yourself because you're so scared of what the player is going to do to you next. That's your boss power. Yeah, it's gonna be so epic, and I'm gonna have your name and everything's going to be 1x, 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 1. Yeah, I mean, this is a very long process to make this game. And again, every one of these here are levels, every one of these scene files. And they have secret areas, every single one, and a bunch of blueprints, and always one main mission for every one of them. But the scale does feel less indie. I mean, it doesn't feel like a two-man project. At this point, it does not feel like a two-man project, but we have spent so long on it. That's the only reason we've been able to do it. We've spent an insane amount of time on this. Which again, smart or not, probably not. Humane UI boss, beat it by designing a matching humane UI panel with Unity's vertical layout group and shit. Yeah. By the way, speaking of UI. All right, I need to still check if I can do that. They're supposed to be in the bank area in one level. I need to check that I can flip the switches there. I put my soda in the freezer yesterday thinking I was going to go grab it in like 10 minutes or something. I did not grab it in 10 minutes. And today I pay the price. I have a freaking frozen soda that I had to expel of the gas. Your boss fight. My boss fight sucks, but I really love the game. Yeah, your boss fight is probably the top one. It didn't explode. It nearly did, but I was very careful. It would have exploded had I not been meticulous in the art of expelling the gases from it. Basically, I ran it under hot water with the cap pretty much, as open as it could be while not letting water in, but gas out. And then I drank the liquid, so now it's like this, big chunk of ice. You hear it rattling inside the... So I'm just sitting here taking like milliliter sips every now and then. Lucky me. I made the mistake one time back when I was 18 or something. I bought a monster, wound up in the freezer, it didn't explode in the freezer, but I took it out and I was like, damn, it's frozen solid. And I didn't know about, the effect that freezing could have on soda. I put it on my radiator because I was like, it's gonna give it a quick defrost. But that only amplified the eventual explosive effect where a gunshot rang out in my room as I was sitting by the computer waiting for my monster to defrost. It was very loud and I was very scared, and there was monster spread out all over my wall. Monster slush. People will talk bad saying this boss sucks, but when only the game becomes popular. No, they're gonna say it even before, and I'm gonna make sure to tag your name when advertising the boss and say, I just added the worst boss ever to my Penguin game. I call it the diarrhea torture boss, and people are gonna be hating on you. And I say, this boss was recommended to me to add by 1x1x1. Nah, bro, that's not the method. That chunk is so annoying, and the syrup gets separated. That's the thing. The syrup gets separated. I mean, but that's the thing, effort does not reflect success. I mean, it just doesn't. I mean, you look at recent success titles, they've all been very rapidly made games like Megabonk, Peak, And you can look at the other, what is it, the other landfall games. Like they, you know, wrap it in and out, you know, a hook of a game concept. Can you please make it a new game for me? No, I feel like you deserve to have the worst boss ever in the history of bosses. And it's going to be the most hated boss in all of gaming history. Almost lost my finger to this cork. Scary. Dangerous. I was scared this was going to happen. The cork was bulging with this one, dude. Very much. Oh yeah, okay, this one doesn't do anything either. I guess the material switcher might be off. And if only I had the humane UI. Oh, it doesn't have the network objects attached. Let's see, puzzle lights. Okay. One X 1 be like, Slave, make a new game for me and also add me as a boss fight. Okay, humane UI is now out. No, it's a leftover. Oh, I shouldn't open Penguin Springs. It's a leftover artifact from the fact that I transitioned the networking library. So there's some specific references you need to add to objects to make sure they're networked. And since we have, you know, as I showed you, like 18 different scenes, soon to be 20, but 18 different scenes, and however many blueprints per scene, I had to go through every single scene and try to the best of my ability, but I didn't want to waste my time, go through most of the blueprints to ensure that they actually worked. Did you stop with... No, I'm using Photon. I'm using Photon Fusion. I used Photon Bolt before. But I'm using Photon Fusion now. But supposedly, I mean, I heard that apparently Steam allows in some cases people to use Steam Networking Relay even for multi-platform titles. I don't know if that's true, but if that is true, that would be appealing, because then, I mean, I wouldn't have to be within Photon, because that's the main reason that I am leaning towards a solution like Photon Fusion, because I mean you need a relay server, right? You're not going to be freaking Minecraft and ask people to open their ports. You want to have a relay server, and you know, Steam Networking Relay is a fantastic thing if you want to only be on Steam, but otherwise you're gonna have to rewrite the relay networking, which, you know, I'm not super hype on doing. You moved across the world. What did this penguin look like when you stand up? He's just stuck. What about you hosting servers? People can make them. Well, they can. But the problem is that, you know, when you host a server, the traffic has to come to you somehow, right? And and that somehow can either be through a relay, which means you don't have to open your ports, or direct traffic, which means you have to open your port. But of course, the relay uses NAT punch through and sets up a direct connection, right? You know, but it has to initiate the actual connection through the relay. But that's the thing. If you don't have a relay, I mean, I could self-host a relay, but then, you know, then you don't get the burst scaling if there's a sudden influx of users. And you have to deal with, now you're not just managing a game, you're also managing the game servers, which is also like, is that something I want to do? 1x1x1, I'm not gonna ever make a boss for you, ever. I retract the boss. You'll never get a boss. I revoke your right to a boss. You'll never get a boss because you simply asked too much. You will never get a boss. Are there weapon attachments or at least upgrades? No, but there are like 150 different weapons. We went the route of different weapons as opposed to different attachments. To me, I feel like attachments is same weapon, different flavor. I would prefer in my games, different weapons, different flavor. Now there are some weapons that do feel a bit like reskins, I will admit, but we tried our best to make as many different unique weapons as possible. I'm dead in the game? No, you're just not in the game at all, ever. You will never be in the game. You were never in the game. Your entire history and existence in the game has been removed, revoked, expunged. You are gone. Simply because you asked one too many times. This is a fault of your own. You dug your own grave, buddy. But yeah, I think I don't know. I do think why I want to go down the route of attachments in Penguin Springs, because I think like in Penguin Heist, for me, the focus was there on exploration, right? It's all about finding blueprints, exploring levels, and it's like for me, what fun is there in, oh, you found an attachment that gives you 2 bullets in your gun instead of 1. Amazing. Like, that's not a fun reward, but instead you explore the level and it's like, you found a freaking sword to replace your previous melee weapon, which was a bat. You know, that's kind of cool. Or you found like a freaking machine gun that can replace your handgun. Like, that's a cool thing. That's not just an attachment. That's part of why I hated Fallout 4 compared to New Vegas and Fallout 3, is Fallout 4 went down the route of, we give you like, I don't know how many different weapon varieties they had, but let's say 10 or something, 10 weapon varieties, and then everything, you just had the same gun throughout the entire game because you just added attachments to it. It was so lame. And every gun ended up feeling the same because you're just adding the freaking attachments to it. Whereas in a game like Fallout 3, you know, you're like, holy shit, this gun is amazing. Because it's about this gun. It's about the item, not about the attachment that kicks ass. Like, you can't form like a personal attachment to an attachment. You form a personal attachment to the whole. Bro, I have shoes print on my back because of one of my bully hit me on my back hard. It hurts. Well, I'm sure you deserved it somehow, but I'm sorry for you, buddy. I've only found attachments fun in Escape from Tarkov. You played? I have not played Escape from Tarkov. But I have heard good things. Is Escape from Tarkov, would you say it plays similar to, is it like extraction shooter meets, friggin' what's the Chernobyl game? Hey, I didn't say he deserved it. I said I'm sure he deserves it. Somehow. I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I'm having lovely interactions with the chatters today. I think there's just good positive vibes all around today. So It's a great, great day for sure. Hello, Keshivox. You misspelled Mr. You said Mira. I'm just trying to fix this bug here. Or double checking that I did fix the bug, which I think I did. Yes, penguins a mirror against ducks. I having every day is bad for me, but I'm happy every day. I got bullied every day, bro. You're happy you got bullied? Well, your bully must have done something right then. Yeah, this works now. Yeah, yeah. Enjoy work. Have a good one. Yep. Ah, neck break. Okay. Anyway, it looks like this is fixed now, so that's good. Tarkov is an extraction shooter with a separate inventory where you can store stuff you found and extract it with. But is it like it's not Call of Chernobyl? What's the frig? Call of Pripyat is the expansion one, COP. Isn't it similar gameplay to that? He hits me in my head, but my head is strong as a rock. Dumb as a rock. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Infinite customization. If you have a weapon build IRL, Americans only, you can build it in Tarkov with the exact same parts. What's up with YouTube viewers, dude? YouTube viewers have this tendency to, you don't know Call of Pripyat? I mean, it's OG, you know, what's it, Stalker. Of course, why did I freaking forget that? You know, OG, Spoilers for picking sides with his bullies after he asked for a boss too many times. And we have titles in the game. Yeah, you'll get the title Rockhead. I'll give you a unique title, Rockhead, but derogatory. But I feel like this, I mean, I keep healing, like Tarkov makes me think Stalker. I don't know why. Okay, yeah, you should play Stalker if you like sort of immersive games. I haven't played it myself, but I watched, back when I was in my private and high school days. When I was younger, I used to watch, only the title needed to me to become happy. Yeah, no problem, dude. No problem. The title is going to show up in the game like this. It's going to show up like this. Basically, it's going to show up like Rockhead. That's how it's going to show up. Maybe something like that. Yeah, like that is how it's going to show up. That's gonna be a very awesome in-game title. Anyway, I think the build is almost done, or is it? I don't know. That's cool, by the way. Yeah, 100%, dude. 100. The rocketory. I get it. I get it. I get it. Rockhead. The rock. Atory. No, that's funny. Just positive vibes. Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people come here, not because they care about game development, but just because they want like a safe space to hang out where the worries of the world can sort of disappear for at least a while, you know. And that's what I aim to provide here. The safe escape. No judgments. It's all good vibes. Why are you guys talking about me? We're not. We're not. We're talking about safe spaces and being friends. And mutual respect. We are happy for you that you got the title that you probably deserve. Yep. Yep. I mean, I hated my life then. Also, now also. Well, that's the way the cookie crumbles for some of us. For some of us, it crumbles the completely opposite way as well. In order for a cookie to crumble, someone's got to crumble it, am I right? And sometimes you just gotta look into yourself and wonder, am I the one crumbling this cookie? Anyway, the city is mine. I own this city. Yeah. Anyway, I added traffic lights now. Cars are a bit fidgety when they stop at the lights, but they do use the lights. Green light, he drives. Very nice. Red light, he should stop. Ah, damn it, turn green. Oh, but the taxi is stopped at the red light. But you see, they will sometimes, because they're scared, they will back up, like their life depends on it. This guy, oh, I thought he ran the red light, but it was green. It was green. He gets a pass from me. I don't know, they get a bit weird sometimes. They're a little bit skittish, these cars. It's the issue of going between, like the thing from Squid Game. Can't believe the things they did to those squid people. Look, he stopped. But the thing is, sometimes when they stop, yeah, they do this thing where they back up a little bit because they're scared. See? There's this little back up. But then he goes. But sometimes they get locked up in the back, in the reverse. And they just slam the backs. You know, like that guy. Look. He just backs up like his life depends on it. Stopping on the crosswalk, that's illegal. Yeah, I need to move around the crosswalks, I think. Shouldn't be an issue. Shouldn't be an issue. Crosswalks go by the lights, right? They go like... Is the light before or after the crosswalks? I should do more research on that. My penguin is also starved. He lost some weight. But yeah, I added some new houses. The park residence is over there. The ocean view is here, and this is a apartment building. I don't know if this one works even. Man, what I would give to not have to... Wait, where the fuck am I going? Holy shit. This is not the first floor, I can tell you that much. And why is the elevator stuck in here? Where am I? Wait, did I... Is this the first floor? This is not the first floor. Is this the... Is it seriously that... Okay. I guess this is the first floor. Yeah, I like this. The elevator clips through the wall like that. I think that's realistic. Okay, let's see here. Second floor. I guess it is a little... Yeah, that was the first floor. Okay, let's go to the top floor. 12th floor. Oh shit, 12 takes us down? Okay. It's not quite what I had in mind. Take me to the 11th floor? Okay, let's go. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Imagine having the freaking weed plants up there, and then the coppers show up, and they're like, "Hey, you can't grow weed up here. It's illegal. According to penguin law, you can't grow weed on the 12th floor. You need a permit." And then you say, "But it's medical. It's medicinal penguin marijuana. I'm allowed to smoke it. My doctor, he told me. You'll have to take that up with a judge." Man, remind me to never buy a apartment on the top floor ever again. At least the music's good. Cops on the chase to the penguin. I want to have fall damage in Penguin Springs. I think I need fall damage in Penguin Springs. Because imagine you actually like jump off and kill yourself in Penguin Springs. Because the cops are onto you. You're like, I have more to life than oh no. What anime you like? I don't watch anime. I'm not into that weeb shit. No! No! Oh. Yeah, the elevator is super janky, dude. It's I need to write a way more robust elevator script, because right now I'm just adding like some shitty ass force upwards depending on the motion of the elevator, but it's... Yeah. It's a beautiful day to die today. You've done me a great service, Penguin Springs. But I fear it's over for me. I'll miss you. Yeah, for sure. I need proper fall damage. But I mean, dude, this is starting to feel anti-anime, so noble and admirable. Yeah, I mean, I remember, you know, you go back freaking 10 years, and people who watched anime were nerds and lame people, and you know, people you didn't want to hang out around. But now, you know, people who watch anime are cool, but not only that, you know, people can watch freaking thirst trap, big boob anime, and it can be seen as not only cool but like respectable, you know. It's like, dude, if English people did the freaking sounds they make in those anime things in their voice acting, like the sounds the girls make, you know, it's like, what is that? They're making the freaking noises. But it's like cool because it's from Japan or whatever. It's the same thing with like single-use plastics. The same people who you go back 10 years would have been hammering and yapping on and on about you can't use plastic straws because you're ruining the nature, are freaking gambling at gacha machines on their trip to Japan and saying how awesome everything is in Japan and how they're living in the future. It's like, you have absolutely zero morals, dude. What are you talking about? You have no principles. Okay, right, the still cars are making sounds. Let's see. Still need to clean up these scripts a bit more, man. Enjoying a bit of animated media is not wrong, but anime people view it as absolute cinema, which is lame. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, it's this exclusive treatment of anime as some elevated art form compared to any other form of animation. Is like, what are you talking about? And it's, again, it's this lack of principles and you know, just this sort of flavor of the month personality. It's strange. Let's see here. I needed to see when I set active state. I think maybe I just don't do it at the start. But I think I used to do it at the start. Or on awake? No. Or maybe I do it in the car controller. Oh, this is the wrong car controller. PG. I love anime. My favorite episode of anime is the episode where Ash kisses Misty. I love that scene in anime. And then Pikachu comes and he does his electrical jolt. It's crazy. They would never do that in The Simpsons. Hey, yo, why are you not driving, old bro? I guess, because, this set active stage probably ruins it. Aspen Hotel? Hell nah. Yeah, the bottle caps. My soda does not have a lot of syrup. It's mostly water at this point, but I'll take what I can get. I bought this soda, so by golly, I'm gonna drink it. Wait, why is this not set to... Oh, it's the jet skis. Oh. Of course. I think I was, yeah, here. When will game date will come? October, the 20 millionth. February 31st. 2027. Set active state. I don't know if I set active state false. I think I set it true. I don't know. I don't know, man. At this point, I don't know. When will this will come, bro? I'm also will to want to know. Yeah. Well, it's happening. It's happening. Don't worry, guys. I know there's a lot of excitement. My favorite chatter is the Iran guy, though. I haven't seen him in ages. I've not seen him in ages. Yeah, a lot of people like to start off by saying where they're from, and then also not just start off, but like interject many times throughout the chat where they're from to remind you in case you somehow ended up forgetting. Oh shit, it seems Unity crashed. I mean, there are some issues, I think, specifically in regards to memory that I've been facing. Also, you know that wheel thing? You remember the wheel bug, where the wheels fell through the ground? I think sometimes it's hot reload can also, like, when I change the script, it sometimes crashes a bit randomly. It's not super often, but it happens. Maybe once or twice a day. The wheel bug is apparently not a bug of my own fault. It is a known and now supposedly in an upcoming version of Unity fixed bug. I was not alone. Other people were going through the same damn thing. I thought I was stupid, but I wasn't. it is something that it's a regression bug. So didn't used to be in older versions of Unity. They fucked something up like 2 months ago with hot reload. Yeah, it feels like it's been crashing way more often. Specifically, like if I'm in play mode and I edit something and switch too quickly, sometimes it crashes. Sometimes it just crashes. Well, it's actually already been fixed. They have been. There was a bug with adaptive pro volumes, which is, you know, simply way nicer looking than just like normal light probes, but basically they would stay in memory across all scenes in editor. They wouldn't do that in build, but they would in editor. So like my editor was using up like 19 gigs of RAM because it was for all the, you know, 19 plus whatever scenes we had. All the light probes for all those would stay in memory at all times. But they fixed that really quickly. It took like a month. And this one is fixed in Unity 6.3 and being considered for 6.2. So it should probably... logging in Awake, constructors, and some other places can cause crashes. Basically, any logs that happen on hot reload causes it to crash. Interesting. You know, the more I work in Unity, having worked in Unity for so long, 6.3 is out or in beta. I think it is in beta still. I think 6.2 just released, but I don't remember what 6.3 was even. Yeah, it's 6.3 beta. I don't even know what it brings. UI toolkit, so that's not Humane UI then. Shader graph. I think it's the terrain shader you can do now. You can do custom terrain shaders in shader graph. Yeah, added shader graph support for terrain shaders. Wait, did Unity just crash? I think it's because of this one, the set active. Maybe I just crashed it that way. Oh yeah, okay. Run start is in there. Run start is it's a recursive loop. Okay, it was a fault of my own. That's because I replaced the run start with start. Because I wanted this implementation stuff here to run here, but also I think in other parts. I don't know. I'm not going to touch that right now. I don't know why I did that. I was fixing the cars. I think it was related to the wheels. I was trying to debug the wheels or something. But I have been doing better refactoring. I've been going over a lot of my classes. Run car snow pen. Interesting. But I have been refactoring a lot of my old classes, and I'm gonna refactor the entire item system. So it's been inheritance hell for me with the item system. But basically, these are all the different classes I have for items. And when I was making the game, I didn't have any concept of like how many weapons I was gonna have, however, what. So I was just sort of like, oh, I want to have like a balloon. I make a balloon class. I want to have like a bear trap. I make a bear trap class and inherit all that from item. And now it's going to be composed to, so like these are all the classes, right? This entire list here. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different groupings of items instead that are all going to fall in under one singular class. Be a little bit more data driven. Still not entirely, but trying to generalize a bit more at least. there's too much duplicated code across the items. But I mean, that's what happens when you're trying to rush like shit out the door. Class structure is something I struggle with as well. Yeah, the item thing, it was especially egregious in my case, especially so. But basically, I have the upper level groupings of classes I'm gonna have, and I'm not gonna have any inheritance below this, right? So it's gonna be sort of like there's gonna be one level of inheritance basically. So a parent item class that is general across all items, and then a single level down, no further. So there's going to be guns, and they fire basically anything that fires a projectile is a gun. Then there's melee, which is obvious, anything that you hold in your hand and you're like, you know, it describes the behavior of holding down the melee button and raising your flipper and then letting go of the melee button and lowering it basically. So like anything that has melee behavior. Then the consumable, which are any item that you basically just end up, they have like a set amount of uses and get consumed and then do something upon consumption. There's no like animation or anything like that. Then there are dropped items that get dropped into the world and have a persistence in the world. So that would be something like a bear trap, C4, a radio. Like you can drop it in the world, it stays in the world, it has a persistence in the world. Then there's the handheld utility, which is anything that you just hold on to that doesn't like, it doesn't have a set amount of uses. It doesn't have a it doesn't necessarily have to have like a tangible effect. It's just like something you hold and you click. It may or may not have an effect, but generally you just hold it in your item and it doesn't change the way your character like holds their hand or anything. Then there's the directed class, which is firing any sort of laser. So that encompasses a lot of different classes with very different behaviors. So it fires a ray basically. So it's going to be like blowtorches, flamethrowers, the freeze ray, the laser pointer, the taser. These are all sort of like they're ray casting forward in one way or another. They're not launching at projectiles. Throwables, which is obviously something you throw, right? Gold bars, dynamite, firecrackers, shurikens, molotovs. Remote controlled vehicles, which currently is only the drone, but I want to encapsulate that with like maybe cars and stuff. And then wearables, which are just items on your back. But I'm thinking about combining wearable with the handheld utility and maybe just calling it a utility item, because then I could just tick whether or not this wearable goes on your, like whether the utility goes on your back or not, because then I could cut down that even further, because that is really the only difference between a handheld utility and a wearable is whether or not it goes on your back. So I feel like that I could possibly combine again. So but I'm trying to make as broad groups as possible and then try to make it as data-driven as possible within those. Holy shit, dude. You're a police officer. You should know the traffic rules. You can't just slam the reverse. But yeah, the problem for me was that I did just unreasonable inheritance for like items that I felt were general purpose, or that I felt were not general purpose, but that probably were more general purpose. Like if the difference between an item is 10 lines or whatever, like the difference between one item and another is like 10 lines of code, probably best to just keep it in the same class and have that be described by data as opposed to a separate inheritance. That was not something I considered, because I mean, but that's the thing, like object-oriented drives you to think about things like objects, and it's like, where does it end? Because every item is technically an object. I could make a separate object for like guns, and then also like shotguns, and then bazookas, because bazookas don't fire bullets, they fire exploding projectiles, and then shotguns don't fire one bullet, they fire bullets in a spread. You know, you could take it endlessly. Luckily I didn't do that bullshit, but you know, at the same time I could have. There's nothing stopping you. I guess. And when you get to bazookas, it gets fucked in that chain. Yeah, exactly. And it's, but it also like, you know, you can't, you know, if I want to make a bazooka that shoots like a shotgun, now I can't. Right? Then I have to make a bazooka shotgun. Which is another inheritance of bazooka, you know? I don't know why these cars are making sound. Like, they are being activated. They're not simulating physics. I think is it only the turbo or is it all of them? Yeah, it's all the sources. You can change the physics engine in Unity. You can write your own custom physics engine as well. It allows you to have full manual control over the entire physics steps and everything. And there's a separate, I think they even encourage, I mean, they encourage to use the separate physics system in, well, I think it's not even encouraged. I think it's mandatory if you're using the ECS system in Unity. I don't think you can use the normal physics. No, you can. I'm talking out of my ass. You can use the normal physics, but basically, I mean, all you have to do if you want to change the physics system is edit project settings. And it should be under physics. The first thing you see is what physics engine you want to use. By default, it's physics, but I think the Pro affords you, like the Pro or Enterprise or whatever it's called, you can have Havoc as well. Hello, First Legwin Lord again, I guess. But yeah, you can just change it to none if you want to, and then they're not going to move, and you can step it manually. Oh, really, Dan? That seems like a pain, though, to make your own physics engine. Yeah, but I mean, I guess it could be warranted, especially if you are doing ECS. Like, I know a guy who's making a space game, and he's making it on not a 1-to-1 scale, but, you know, a massive scale, and he can't use the normal physics engine because the physics engine is running on floating points. Or floats, specifically floating points. So he has to use doubles to get any sort of accuracy in the simulation scale that he's running at. And he's had to make his own physics engine. That's in Unity. He's using like HDRP and shit as well. And But he's not using ECS as far as I'm aware. But yeah, he's had to write his own. But I mean, he's already doing, you know, shifting the center, right, of the physical center. He's already doing that stuff. But yeah, the problem is maintaining some sort of accuracy across the entire simulation, like the ground truth, right? Because no matter how much you're cheating with everything, you need to have some level of ground truth, and if you're simulating a massive system, the ground truth needs some level of precision. Gun is always at 0, but then gets projected at camera space. Yeah, in my Stream Penguin game, the screen space UI that is in camera space supposedly gets distorted the further away you get from 0, 0. Overlay is what I should have used, but it's just a little side project, so I've been too lazy to change it. So I don't know why where exactly do I... It is set active true and then initialize and then set active state. Right. Is there a way to save both the major and the diamond? Yeah, you can put them both on the... I think it's broken right now. I just fixed the bug. But you should be able to do both, and then put them both on the elevator, and then start the elevator, and it should finish the heist. Separate camera has its own issues, lack of shadows and reflections. You mean on the UI itself? Oh, you mean for the gun, separate UI for the separate shadow for the gun. Oh, yeah. That's probably horrible. No, the UI I was talking about, screen space UI. Screen space camera UI. The major wasn't there. You might have to knock him out or something. Or if he wasn't there, I don't know. You might have to, like, do the diamond first and then get the mayor. Well, I mean, floats are amazing for fast physics, but they suck for accuracy for sure. No sub alert? Usually there is a sub alert. Oh, thanks for subscribing. I don't know why it doesn't... I think maybe it's for...
This is Mr. Penguin.
No, there it is.
Is depressed.
Daddy Frosty just subscribed. Why is this a thing, Lolo? Guys, I'm your biggest fan. I'm subbed for 60 months.
Oh, hell yeah. You just had to give it some time, I guess. Wait, did you just resubscribe a second time? Hell yeah. Yeah, I don't get why. R equals vehicle. Is vehicle maybe not initialized then? No, it should be initialized. Okay. I love this asset, dude. It's an amazing asset. I'm not. I have to be kind to the asset. It's nice. Yeah, it's free money. I like free money. It's strange though, because I mean like I need to hello, Starl of the Wolf. For whatever reason the sound is playing for the standstill vehicles, but it does not for the normal vehicles. But I need to see here. I have too many errors, dude. And there's also errors from like the restarting of the level. I need to not have a bunch of errors maybe. So I can actually see when the errors are real errors and not these fake missing references from the restart. But like, yeah, these cars are just going at it, you know? And if I get into the car and then get out, now it's no longer making any sounds. It's gotten way more juiced. Yeah, look at this, dude. Now we're talking juice. You have the real estate. Oh, hell yeah. I'm trying to figure out, though. The tile inventory? I'm quite, you know, I'm past the growing pains. Basically, I maintain coordinate, item size XY, and then an occupied array. And then these in the hotbar here are just like references, right? So they're just linked. It seems like, though, it's not loading in the references correct for the hotbar. I should change that. But basically, yeah. Oh, I guess if I move it, it becomes a new reference. Right, yeah, so you can duplicate it in the hotbar. Interesting. But that's just reference management. It's not super... Yeah, the animation slotting into the hotbar, dude. Talk about juice. They do go newt. But yeah, this animation here, I think it's juice with a purpose, because you know, otherwise you're slotting this in and you're covering the entire hotbar, and it's like, what are you doing at that point, you know? Yeah, I should probably have these as classes and not freaking structs, because right now I have these as structs, so I'm just copying data and not maintaining the references. So like if I move this here, that's a new struct. I did it like the first tile of the item is the real item, and then the other two slots are proxy items linking back to that first slot, but then making it render properly. Oh yeah, I'm not doing that. This is just a rect that I'm scaling. So this is just a scaled rect. And it's 9 slice texture, so it can scale without problem. Centered texture. And then wherever you click, I mean, you're dragging onto that item, and the actual item is, yeah, on the top left of wherever the item is, so I can have like, you know, 2x2, 3x2, whatever. And then yeah, just have an occupied grid saying where you can put it or not, and then I have like this simple like can place algorithm. The inventory manager. So just, yeah, you know. Let's say the Mac 10 is in the slot 5. What is slot 6, 7? Null. Yeah, so it's basically the items are a list, right? So you have a list of inventory items, and the inventory items have a coordinate of x, y, and then data saying what's their width and what's their height. And then based on that, I can infer, right, what slots are occupied. Yeah, so I just add, remove, whatever. You know, it's not fixed. And every single item maintains basically what's my width, what's my height, and then what is my coordinate within the inventory. And then it's like, okay, yeah, there exists an item here in slot 2, with a width of 3 and height of 1. Okay, so then this, and this is occupied. When we try to place here, we can't. Very simple. Both methods have their drawbacks, though. Adding a new item to the inventory in your scenario requires creating an array to lay out the current items and finding an empty slot type shit. Yeah, but I mean, it's... I think for the purpose of, like, inventory management, you don't have to, like... What's so good there is you don't really have to think about, like, performance. So... like, assuming you're running this calculation once, like when an item is spawned, you just cache the values, right? Like I have an array of like what slots are occupied. If an item is moved, cached. If an item is picked up, cached. So it's like it's on pickup and on drop that it changes. And so like what is the drawback in that sense? I would say none, you know, because how little time do you spend computing for, you know, 25 slots or whatever, how many slots you have in your inventory. You can even have 100 slots. It's still not bad, you know. Fill up an array. You know, if you have 100 slots and 10 items in your inventory, it's still limited to, you know, 100 slots that can be filled up by them, which is quite nice. And then when you index, like, the comparison you're making in the actual is occupied grid is also super easy, because as long as you can figure out where the item is holding place, which you can just extrapolate from like where the upper left corner is placed. Like I just basically shift in and say like, okay, this is the point where we measure. What point on the grid does that represent? And then we just index, you know, starting with the coordinate of the item and then width and height. Super easy. Very quick. It's just about making sure you are caching at the right places, which... Well, the airplane ambience, that's the thing I'm trying to solve for now. So these cars... They spawn in with the full audio on. Yeah. Which is not what I want. Not at all what I want. They didn't used to. I did some change that I don't know what it was when I was... Wait, is the car controller disabled? Maybe it is. It could be that the car controller is disabled. No, it's enabled. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's awesome when you, when you try to fix something and you break something, but you didn't know you broke it, and then, you know, fast forward 2 days, you're like, oh shit, wait. When I was trying to find that bug and fix it, I ruined this other thing, and I can't roll back now because I'm already committed with the fix I made. So, you just have to fix it differently. My soda is tasting more and more like water with a hint of soda and a lack of carbonation. But I'm committed, guys. I'm gonna see this through. Tastes great. I can gaslight myself into liking this. Wait. Okay. Yeah, it's not making the sound anymore, but I think the wheel colliders are probably on now. I think I know what the issue is. I think I can like do a force activate, exclude layers, everything. Okay, well, great. Seems like it worked. I don't know exactly. Did I set it to false? I said it's true. Why is it? Okay, yeah. You know what? I don't care at this point. Oh shit. Okay. 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 That's not supposed to happen. But it's not happening for that reason that we were talking about earlier. It's happening now because these wheels are just set to exclude everything. I think it's because... Oh. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Let's see here. was it? Car controller. We're gonna see if this works. It might be that it freezes all the AI cars now because we do this. But we're gonna give it a shot. We're gonna give it a shot. This soda's so good, man. Okay, the cars are driving. The cars are driving. That is good. That is a good sign. Now, let's just hope they don't make noise when they're standing still. Wait, but those are clipped into each other. They're gonna explode. No! There was a ticking time bomb. I saw them. He's like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. Holy shit, dude. I saw them. I shouldn't have approached. I could have avoided that death. Oh man, these cars are through the ground now. Shit. Yeah, I think I know the issue. It's okay. I know the issue. The problem is, when I set them active, they get engaged physically, which in turn makes them. We can do like set active state and then ignore cull. Which, you know, I don't think we're going to be adding more parameters to this, so if we do, we'll refactor later. I'm not a biggest fan of passing a bunch of parameters to a method like that. If not, ignore cull. Oh wait, I'm really feeling, I'm telling you, Vim motions, dude. Top 10 life decisions. Top 10 life decisions. I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it, dude. I haven't been using macros as much as I thought I would. I thought I'd be using macros more, but I did use it yesterday. But it's big, it's huge. Okay, let's see. I saw you use your mouse. Yeah, occasionally I will use my mouse. Specifically when I'm like out of the flow, when I'm hopping between Unity and the editor. Because it's like such a context switch. Oh yeah, it's working. But when you're in the editor and you're doing nothing but coding, I don't touch my mouse, dude. I just don't. And it is so nice, so nice. But basically, I mean, I've set up a couple quick commands that I wouldn't have used otherwise, because I don't know, there's something about like I said earlier, all the quick commands are like mnemonics, so you can set them up in ways that make sense to you. But like it feels so abstract. These all like Control, Shift, Alt, whatever, and then key combination to run a command. Here, if I want to run like find class, I do space class, and then now I'm searching in classes, you know. And like I want to go to the vehicle controller. Okay. And then I want to find useness. Go to definitions. I can GD, go to definitions. I want to look for methods within the class, I can press GM, go methods. And now I can find like methods, but also like variables. I can do the slash and like, I don't know, let's say I want to change all these public to private. I can do /public and then change in a word, private, and then I press N dot. Dot repeats the last change you made, and then I'm like, I don't want to change this one, but I want to change this one. I do dot. And then I can just undo those, you know? Just you. So, N repeats the search, so N is next. You can do the next search. And then uppercase N for previous search. Which is also like a thing, like generally, like the shift will either modify it or like be the opposite. So like P is paste, uppercase P is paste behind the cursor. So P, paste in front of the cursor, uppercase P behind the cursor. But I'm saying this is good. And then like, if I want to change this entire word to be uppercase, I can just do V inner word. V is view mode. So V goes into like basically cursor select. And then I can just press tilde and it changes the thing. There's an uppercase, but that like flips. So if like, oh, I want this to be lowercase, you know, I could do a macro, do R, and I want this to be like, oh wait, we can do this. I want to just do a macro here, quick. So basically macro, start the line, changing the word, private, exit, forward, flip the case, go to the beginning of the word, insert underscore there, complete macro, and now I can just do this and repeat macro. I'm gonna stay on Rider a bit more. Probably gonna stay on it a bit more, but we'll see. We'll see if I switch to Vim. I probably want to at some point, but I'm just too in the heat of things right now to want to do that. But man, like the amount of like when you're refactoring code and you have like the macro set up to like efficiently go through and refactor things in exactly the way you want to, I can't even express how nice that is. And the feeling of pressing N dot. Hello, Daw. What's up? Like there is a joy. And it's like, I thought that macros would be too niche. I don't think I would be using macros so much, but there is, there are so many cases where I would, you know, because when you're refactoring something, you either end up in this like copy paste scenario or like you like hyper locked in. You have to stay hyper focused and like use the mouse to like select the words and then, you know, whatever. And you think you're efficient, but you're not. But when you have the right macro set up in the right way, like that refactoring becomes such a dream. And you feel like you're being, like you're making progress. You're not just doing, you feel like you're doing busy work sometimes when you're refactoring. Now I just enjoy refactoring. I feel you, I might not have it as good as you, but I got 60% of that with normal keybinds, and when I was doing Game UI, C++ to C#, it was so nice to do exactly what I wanted. Yeah. No, but it is control, down arrow, select next occurrence of this word, and some other clutch binds. Yeah, exactly. But I don't think I was leveraging that many keybinds, but that's because you know, who has the time to memorize a bunch of keybinds? I just remembered a fair few, one of which is like the Control B, you know, Alt Enter like does the auto suggestion based on the editor. The Control B goes to like, I don't know what B stands for, but it's, I mean, it finds usages and definitions. But beyond that, I don't know that I was using that many keybinds. Shift F6 to rename. Like, yeah, Shift F6 to rename. That makes a lot of sense, dude. I have GR, which is go to, which is rename. G, I don't know why I picked G. Maybe I should have done space R, but. But I've started using, I've made a keybind to GE, which is go to error. So it just jumps to the next error. That's awesome. You can press F2 in Writer to jump between errors as well. I just don't know why I didn't use that earlier. It goes to the next, like, highest warning level. Because I kept scrolling through files, searching for errors. That was so annoying, dude. I can't believe I used to do that. That's not me anymore. F2 is rename? Yeah. Okay. But yeah, I need to do something about this physics. I mean, you see, like, we're running freaking 5, 4, 6 milliseconds of physics, sometimes even up to 10 milliseconds of physics. It's a dire situation in Physics Town. But we have physics-based cars and physics-based NPCs, so, you know. It's a very dire situation in Physics Town. Okay, we're not up to 10 milliseconds. We're up to 8. 8 peak. But it's also, these numbers are artificially inflated because I'm streaming, so the CPU has to spend more time doing this stuff. And it is in the editor, which is also artificially inflating it because of editor overhead. I think this would probably run like a dream were it in the build. But yeah. It's still nicer when it runs well in the editor too while I'm streaming. Which it does in heists. Like this is not taking up 1 millisecond when I'm off stream. I think it's like 0.4 milliseconds to simulate all the civilian NPCs in the city. So, I mean, that's like a, you know, 150% increase in computation time just because I'm streaming, so. I think that speaks for itself. But it's still dire. It's still dire, the physics. We really need to fix the fixes. But I cut down intensely on the cars. They used to use a lot more. They're way faster now. Just raw CPU, not physics. They spent like 1 millisecond computing their adherence to like the spline paths. Now it's like 0.1. So much better, much better. But I want to see. Physical AI? Yeah. Reverse. Here, if you had to fix up a fully JavaScript code base, which was made a prototype and then extended, what editor would you use and how long would it take you if you were to punch your monitor for writing such shit code? I would probably use WebStorm because I'm fully invested in the JetBrains ecosystem. But I don't know what I would do in terms of reaction. I'd probably be quite chill, more defeated, if anything. Yeah, but WebStorm isn't just, I mean, it's JavaScript, you know? WebStorm deals with JavaScript, CSS, and HTML, and anything other web-related, whether it's like React or something, you know, it does everything. Hey, that's all the emotes. And some other weeb ones. I feel like this one, base speed multiplayer, is not being applied. I hate this bug because it's supposed to save the size of this, but it doesn't. The worst part, this hooks up into a website I made, and the WebSocket server middleman was going to make in C#, but I was like, nah, this is going to be quick and easy. Let's go with TypeScript. And now I get random reports and the server restarted messages late at night. Yeah, I get the one time I was like, oh yeah, I'll use something different for my networking. I used networking from game objects, and there I also got random crashes. Migrated the code to Photon Fusion, 0 random crashes. That was for the Penguin MMO. Yeah, I mean, but it's also like when it stops working and it barely spits out an error. I wonder, vertical. Yeah, no, it's not the nicest. If vertical 0, horizontal 0, and return. We'll just see if this works. I just want to see if they still do the little shimmy thing where they like start, break, start, break. No, but that's also the thing I've, you know, with Penguin Heist, I felt like, you know, I had so many issues with the old code base, and if I want to keep working on this and actually leave it, you know, in a 1.0, I kind of just have to rewrite all this stuff. I can't just let it sit and rot. Okay, any cars? Any cars? I'm doing good. Whatever your name is. I forgot. Holy shit. These cars are ruthless, I tell you. Ruthless. Wait, do they not stop at the red lights now? They don't stop at the red lights. Okay, okay. Wait, so... do I have, like, what is the actual implementation of this? This is because this I didn't write. Like there is somewhere that it sets the speed, I assume, but I don't know where. I thought it was vertical, but apparently that's not where it sets the speed. Like here it says horizontal vertical equals 0. Maybe this one is stopped, is not base speed multiplier. Wait, let's see here. Is he approaching a red light? He is approaching a red light. Okay. Because I am setting the base speed multiplier from the traffic light. Let's see. There, I think it's base speed multiplier. Because there's the current speed multiplier. Mm-hmm. Advanced AI vehicle. Okay, base speed multiplier is 1. Okay, there it's 0. So he actually stops at the red light. Good man, good man. But now it's 1. Okay. Well, why... What chair? Ergo Human 2. Fully mesh. This fella. Not the leather seat, just the full mesh seat, this one. Not a gaming chair? Hell nah, dude. I had a gaming chair, but I just, you know, there's nothing good about gaming chairs, man. They're comfortable to sit in for a while, but I mean, it ain't sustainable, buddy. Ah, yeah. Yeah, no, my butt was killing me more than anything. But that's so weird though. Like, what is it actually? It's not actually stopping. But maybe the speed cap, miles per second, has changed. We can change that, I guess. All right. Stopped is the speed cap. Because what is the speed cap? Miles per second. It's infinity. Okay, yeah. Well, it doesn't matter then. It's just recognizing that it's stopping. It's like it's entering the thing undetected. Why is it able to sneak under the radar? It is the... What? Like, receive traffic command sets the multiplier. But it's trigger enter, trigger exit. I bought it in a store. I got a little discount for it as well. A little discount. It was on sale, but not when I got there, but I got it on the sale price still. Wait, is he... I mean, it is looking at that traffic light. What the hell? Yeah, this ergo human, I mean, it's nice, but I think you have to you know, when you have an ergonomic chair, you really have to live the lifestyle, which means you can't screw around with how you sit in it. You have to sort of adapt to the way it's designed. Some people fight against the way that the chairs are designed, and they end up, you know, disliking it. But I find that the more I allow myself to get into it, the better it feels. Yeah. No, I've been taking care of my posture recently. You know, been going to the gym, doing more specific posture related exercises. because it's just not worth it to end up in pain because you're sitting at a computer, you know. Simply not worth it. Yeah, so they stop when they're far away. There he's at 0. Speed multiplier 0, 0. And then 1. Yeah, when he gets a green light. Okay. Fair enough, fair enough. But what about, like, physical cars? So let's find a physical car that is approaching any given light. Okay, go, 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 go. Yeah, he just receives a 1. But that's a green light, though, so of course he receives a 1. Oh, that's gonna be a good one. Guess we don't need the... Yeah, he's just receiving a 1. But where is he receiving it from? Causes vehicles. Clear to proceed. Okay, yeah. On approach side. I carried most of my stuff in my backpack, which the airlines don't weigh. I had like 70 kilo in my carry-on stuff in total, and now I can't even bend over and pick up shit. Yeah, that's not so good. Gotta take care of that back, dude. You gotta. It feels like it's almost like changing the, but it shouldn't. I mean, it's just not getting... Like, it's getting here, leg mouth. I'm doing good, Billy. Green or already... I mean, it enters, though. No, I gave up, Billy. I gave up. Can't do it. Have you tried one of those back braces? Yeah, you shouldn't use one of those back braces. You shouldn't. For the simple reason that it reinforces the fact that your back can stay weak and unused. You want a strong back and an active back. That's why preferably, even in an ergonomic chair, you're not supposed to be leaning back all the time. You're supposed to, like, when you do lean back, you want to lean back in a way that's beneficial to keeping your back active, and that's why the like lumbar support is important, because it pushes your back forward so you don't like slouch and whatever. But I mean, if you really can't do that, I mean, you'd have to get like a yoga ball, but even then you can still maintain poor posture. You can be like freaking slouched over or sitting on a yoga ball too, you know. Probably because of the humane UI. Yeah, it could be. Things are holding up well. Is it drawing to the opposite side? Humane UI security vulnerability discovered. Bricks everyone's computers. And hard deletes their entire Unity project. Yeah, I mean, that's what happens. You just do it. But I mean, it is, you know, you are keeping your back engaged. That's the thing. You can't escape that part. Penguin Pet isn't letting you in. Yeah, it could be that it's broken, or it could be you wrote the wrong account name. That happens sometimes. Dude, I just want to see a car driving on a red light. Yeah. I mean, that is one way to do it. My God, why do I catch the cars only on the freaking green lights? Flip to red, quickly. I guess it is valuable in seeing it drive on green too, because it should be pointing towards the stop line anyway. Okay, let's see. Shit, I didn't pause it. Okay, let's see here. See, it is pointing towards the proper stop line. So the to stop seems to be fine. Toward is the connection point. Right, okay. Right, if it's greater than 0, we'd be on the approach side. It's greater than 0. Because this points that way and this... To stop, to ward would be, yeah, from the connection point towards the center. Let's see here, because basically, I mean, we have a crossing, whatever, you know, there's a center, 2 lanes approaching, car coming here. There is an imaginary stop line. We say that the car has a vector pointing towards this imaginary stop line at some point. And then here from this connection point, we're pointing to the center to say that this is the approach direction. And then really we're taking the approach direction and the point towards the stop line here, which becomes an angle, in reality a dot product. And using that to determine when we should stop. Like if it's on a 90-degree angle, of course we should stop, right? Because then we're at the stop line. And we should only stop in the event that the light is red here, you know. If it's red and we're at a 90-degree angle, we stop, and then we'll let's up, or it's like it's this or greater really, so it's like that, or you know, greater than also. But maybe we can flip this then. Like, will it stop? I don't think it will. Like now the car drives through normally. He just rolls. Okay, I mean he is doing something. Oh yeah, you're sick for 4 days. That's crazy. Okay. The nav visualization is awesome. Yeah, I'm quite happy with it. Oh, this guy stopped. No, okay, never mind. He kept going. Freaking idiots. Can't drive for shit. Garbage. But the thing is, it works like normal. It works absolutely fine. Let's do it like this. We can do it like this. We can further change it. So we have like a debug dot, is it color, or is it draw line and then you set the color directly in the line? I sent you some chairs available locally on Discord. Could you rate their ergonomics real quick? Yeah, 1 second. One second. I'm trying to find it here. Trying to see. The heck? A bit, I don't know. I'm trying to find the Discord. It's a bit difficult. 1 second here. Okay, yeah, I found it. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, you were. I saw it. I was looking through the DMs. I struggled to. Okay, so these are the chairs I was sent. First was this one, which I mean that's an odd chair. I would say ergonomic rating probably like a 2 out of 10. It looks like it's not gonna be fit for any desk that I've seen. That's awkward. I guess this is like from Craigslist or something. I don't know. I don't know what to tell. I don't think that's a computer chair. That's got like some stains on it too. Very high res photo though. Like that blood or something? I don't know. Looks very, probably a 3 out of 10. Probably a bit nicer than this one, but I'm not gonna say it's any. This chair, I don't think you're gonna get a lot of motion range in this one. Definitely not ergonomic, but honestly, maybe the best one out of the ones you've sent. Old school garden chair. Probably just wash it, power wash it, and you're good. But then we can look at the actual chairs he sent me. Oh, this is okay. This is the ship from, I think, what's it called? Star Trek, right? Pretty nice. You can keep all your manga books in there. You can goon and work at the same time. Are they advertising desks or chairs or torture chambers? What are they? Is this? What are they advertising? One Guantanamo Bay gaming setup. Yeah. This is hardcore. This is place where Iron Man made his suit. The cave. I heard you like putting the sock with the cat print. That true? Yeah. I heard it's a Turkish prison gaming setup. Yeah, they give one of these to every Turkish prisoner. You gotta see the next one. This is on their website. This is not on their website. You're just putting this. You're putting this on top of the. You're just picking random photos online and just slapping on the logo. The fuck? What's this? This is monkey business. This is monkey business, literally. UZ? Is that Uzbekistan? Did you move to Tashkent? I see. I had a roommate from Uzbekistan back in my private and high school days. No, it was actually in my university days. His name was Asamat. Bruh, I'm gonna be drunk, Harpic, if you ignored my text again. Ignored. Get ignored. Like, why is the car... Hmm. 100% Uzbek certified? Yeah. Yeah. Stop ignoring me. I thought we were a thing. Yeah, it's classic. Yeah, I've been wanting to visit Uzbekistan, but that guy, he's always out traveling, so it's like... Wait, but now they actually stopped, though. This is red. Is he gonna stop? Nah, he just run through. Okay, let's see here. Show me what you got. He's saying this one's green. Oh, I guess it was green. Okay, sorry for calling you out on your... You did not break the rules there. Okay, police. Approaching. Oh, I thought you were approaching. Yeah, you drove on a green light. That's fair, that's fair. Okay, you're gonna get there on a red light, buddy. Yeah, well, I mean, then, you know, that, I think that Uzbekistan, I still don't know if that explains it. You know, those... Is that part of Uzbekistani culture to have gorillas? Yeah, it just thinks it's green. It draws the... I think it's getting the wrong light state then. Suck at advertising? Yeah. How's the political situation over there? I know it's always kind of a little bit messy in that region, but I don't know how Uzbekistan is faring. It's been calm here? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that was sort of my perception as well from him. But I was thinking, you know, what with the Russia war and possible still remaining ties and stuff with the country. Yeah, I watched some videos with the food. They have that bread they make in the friggin' big ass in the ground ovens, and a lot of sheep butt fat, duba or whatever it's called. Wait. It's not like... No, the direction index is correct. American guy with a red bandana. I've seen his videos. I didn't know if he made one on Uzbekistan. I think I saw another video. I've seen him eating was it like mad honey and some stuff in... I think he went to the Faroe Islands. I think I saw him there. Red bandana man. It's weird. It's like when I pull the direction from the transform, it's like it changes. Yeah, I wouldn't mind some Uzbek bread. I watched this video also when he was in Afghanistan. That was a recent one I watched. That was kind of interesting. But they also like the sheep's butt over there. Food delivery costs like 60. Yeah, I mean, I imagine it's probably really cheap. And now you're getting like money from out of country, you're probably quite well off. But I don't get why. Yeah, I mean, in Iceland we have a lot of sheep in the diet as well. And when I was when I was a poor student, I would buy a sheep's heart during slaughter season and eat a bunch of sheep's heart. Very cheap. It costs like $4 for a kilo of heart. That's pretty good. Probably like $3.50, honestly. $3.50, like way cheap. That is cheap. And you make like soup with that. Very good. I have tried the fermented shark, yes. It is not very tasty. I prefer the fermented herring from Sweden. See, the thing with the shark is that it's mainly a flavor of ammonia. Whereas the fermented herring is more complex in flavor. More stuff going on, and also you have it with other stuff. The shark you're just supposed to eat on its own and then wash down with freaking spirits, you know. Okay, yeah, so it just keeps going. And then it gets past it and it says it's 1. Okay, I mean it just doesn't break. That's the problem. Yeah, ammonia. Not quite pneumonia, but similar enough. Let's see here. I think the problem is that it wants to reverse, but there's no braking. I think I need to just pull the handbrake or something. I think there is a handbrake. Handbrake equals, yeah, vehicle that is stopped. Ah, shit. We'll just do it like that and see what happens. They got Swedish style kebab wraps here, and oh my god, the meat is so good here. I recommend visiting just for the food alone. Yeah, I mean, I probably will visit at some point. Just, you know, I've never been like a traveling person. I think, you know, I like to cruise around and shit, but I'm not the type of guy who's like, oh, I have to visit, you know, so and so I can experience the culture. I have to. Like I never cared that much for that kind of travel. Food is the biggest thing for me, but since I do so much cooking at home, I feel like, you know, I'm generally not left in shock and awe when I visit a country for food. I feel like very often you can replicate a lot of the things that people do locally in different places if you know your way around a kitchen. Like I spent a lot of time shopping in like Indian, Middle East, Asian supermarkets, and I mean I make food from all kinds of cultures, and it's like food is the biggest part for me in terms of like experiencing the world. I don't, you know, I find other cultures interesting, but it's not, I don't know, at the end of the day, everyone's just a person. I think there is this like, I don't know how to describe it. It feels like so many people visiting other countries think of the people there as people like like monkeys in a zoo almost. Like people visit Iceland and make up this image of like, oh, this is how the Icelandic people are. Oh, it's so fascinating to see them go about their daily lives. And it's the same thing, you know, with like Japan or whatever. Like people create this imaginary image, and it's like, I don't know. I just don't get such a big kick out of seeing the daily lives of people, I guess. They're like, wow, I can't believe these people in Germany are just like me. They also have hopes and dreams. I learned so many things from traveling. It turns out that other people are actually also people. I can say for trying to make Swedish food, it's kind of not possible. Some food can only be made in its origin. Yeah, well, I mean, to a degree, maybe. I don't know. There are some rare ingredients here and there that are like barely imported, but yeah, I mean, I can see it, but it's, I don't know. It just feels so surface level to me. Like when people say like, you know, you learn so much about people's cultures when you travel, and it's like, well, what did you do? Well, I talked to a guy at a bar and he told me all about the country. It's like there's so much more to like a country and a culture than like what some random guy at a bar has to say. And I don't think you can like fully like I've lived in Iceland for friggin' since 2017 now, and I still don't feel like you know, I'm still like grasping what the country is. You just can't grasp culture so quickly. I feel like you can get culture shocked, but I guess, you know, like fully immersing and investing yourself in it, I think is a different thing. I don't know. It's just the high of novelty doesn't speak to me, I guess. I like looking at old stuff though. But it doesn't have to be like I kind of despise looking at the old stuff that you're supposed to look at, like the canon experiences. You know, like you go to Rome, you have to go to Colosseum. I would prefer to just not go to Rome at all, because I don't know, I don't feel like history happens in the capitals. and the culture is also not in the capitals. Like the culture of Germany, for example, which I frequently visit because it's just a country I like cruising around in with a rental car. So many people just visit Berlin, and that's it, and that's their experience of Germany, and that's all they think Germany is. And it just feels like such a pointless surface level experience. Like it's this novelty chasing. I don't know. I don't care for it. People can enjoy it. It's fine. But yeah, it's never been an appealing aspect of travel for me. Typical place to go in where the countries are just touristified. Yeah, I mean, that's another part of it. That's also why I don't want to go to France. I don't want to go to, like, Paris, France. I don't want to go to Rome, Italy. The last thing I want to do when on vacation is get harassed by people trying to sell me stuff. Absolute last thing. I just want to go there, unwind, relax. I'm not on vacation to be freaking 24/7, be my own bodyguard to make sure I don't get sold a freaking necklace by a scammer who then says, you have to pay up 50 euros for this necklace. You have it on you, so now you must pay. It's like, I never asked you to put this necklace on me. Which is why I love Germany, because you can go to any city in Germany and there's not going to be any of that bullshit. Same with Iceland. They don't have that crap. Like, there's no people trying to sell you. I think you get socially ostracized if you're partaking in that sort of bullshit. Like, I don't know. It's like the people doing that kind of stuff, I just can't wrap my head around looking at them as anything else than like inhuman almost. It's like proper NPC behavior when your entire livelihood revolves around scamming tourists. Like, I can't imagine having that person as your friend in real life. Like, that's absurd. Absolutely absurd. We're like, oh yeah, how was work today? Oh yeah, I scammed a bunch of tourists today, made a bunch of money. Like, what? No respect for that. No respect. Anyway, it seems like we fixed the car light problem. They actually break down and stuff. That's nice. I mean, I guess at this point, you know, we're sort of set to start adding the jobs now, I feel. We do need to tinker a little bit more with the way that cars, you know, don't pile up on each other when they're driving normally. But I think at this point we are in a stable place. Embarrassing, I'm semi-local. When someone tried to swindle me, I straight up just go, stop lying. What's the real price but negotiated? Yeah, I despise negotiation too. I absolutely, because it's both people want to, like, you know, negotiation is both people trying to basically scam each other. One wants to highball, the other one wants to lowball. And it's such a needlessly uncomfortable interaction. It just feels like almost antisocial to engage in. Just tell me up front what you think this thing is worth. I will say yes or no as to whether or not I will pay for it. Like, when I'm guessing the price, I always end up at a disadvantage. When you let the customer guess the price of what you're selling, the customer's at a disadvantage. If you're upfront, I can just decide flat out, yes, no. Like, haggling culture also, no, no. And not only that, but so many of these you know, salesmen are like, well, typically I'd sell this for $10, but for you, I like you. You can get it for $8. And it's like their actual price, they always sell it at is $8, but they just add this fluff before to try to make you feel like you got a good deal. I don't like that. Like, just say it's $8. Don't do this lead up trickery. Like it's a different thing, right? When I was telling you about the chair, which, you know, the chair was on sale a week earlier. I show up after the sale. The salesman's like, well, this was on sale a week ago. I guess I could give you the sales price. That's just, you know, that's just the vibes thing. But it was like definitively on sale. He's not just like shifting the price around, because I don't feel like I'm getting scammed in that moment. Then it's like a gesture, right? And that's so much nicer because all the cards are on the table at that moment. But the thing is, even when you're haggling, you know, there is, you feel like there's the two sides, but you're always as a customer, when you're haggling, you are at the disadvantage, right? Because the guy who's selling it is never going to let go of something if it is too painful to let go of. They're always at a disadvantage. You're always at a disadvantage. Which is why it's like, no. Because they know the truth. Like they running it, like they're providing you, you know, and like it is an exchange. Yes, you could say like, you know, maybe they have something, they don't know the true value of it or whatever, but it's like I just don't see it as that. If they're money in exchange for goods, I think the one with the goods is always the one with the advantage. When they don't have the set price point, because you're the one adjusting for the price point. But they already know what they're willing to let go for. So yeah, I don't know. And I also hate that's why I'll never do like a private sale of a car, because you get these people who show up who are like agriculture people, you know, they're like looking for deals or whatever. Anyone who engages in that and tries to buy, because they flock. If you put an online ad for something, those kinds of people are the ones who flock to those ads because they like get a kick out of it. They show up and they're like, I see there's a tiny scratch here on this car. This wheel feels a little bit stiff to turn. You sure the gearbox is okay? Looks like I need to fill up some air in that tire. And they're like nitpicking like to all hell, try to haggle down the price. And it's like, dude, get out of here. I put a price on this car. I didn't put a price on this car for you to haggle the price. The price is where I'm willing to let the car go. Don't show up unless you want to haggle the price. Yeah, price matching is nice. Price matching is nice. Yeah, I don't know. The only time I think haggling is okay and like having the price be, you know, whatever, is when it's something expired. Because I'm not very picky with expired goods, and sometimes, you know, they give it to me for free. Sometimes they'll mark it down 50% or whatever. You know, there it's like whatever, give or take, because it's like a gray area. Yeah, that's the thing, but that's what I'm saying, in person. Like, if you do it in chat, it's whatever. But if I put out a sales price for a car, and then Mr. Haggle shows up, and he's like, yeah, I'll get it for that, and he shows up, and then on the spot, he starts being freaking nitpicky, it's like, dude, there is a price for this car, that's what I'm willing to let it go for. Don't start trying to haggle with me now. That's just social manipulation tactics. Either you want the car or you don't. So yeah, I don't know. It's too much. Especially people that just end up shipping the car to overseas. Yeah, they're just in it to make a business out of it. I'd prefer to sell my car to someone who's going to use it, not someone who's just trying to turn a profit. You just got to be strong and walk away. That should happen. Plus, you put no haggling on this. Yeah, I mean, you can try, but the haggler's gonna haggle. You know, they just get a kick out of it. They just want to feel like they get a deal. That's also like horrible. That's why you never put anything up for free on Facebook Marketplace. If you put something up for free, everyone's gonna respond. They're gonna say, "Yes, I can get it. Yes, I can get it. I want this. I want this." And you say, "Okay, great. You can show up here." And they leave you on red, or they don't even read your next messages. They just get a kick out of saying yes to a bunch of shit that's for free. They come like hawks. But that's why you can put a literal price of like, I don't know, 10, you know, like $1. You put a $1 price tag on what you're selling, and these people aren't going to show up. They're not going to show up. It's absurd. People are twisted, man. Twisted, I tell you. They're real rockheads. Second-hand market in Sweden sucks, though. Nothing keeps its value. Yeah, I don't like engaging in secondhand for that reason, because not only does it not keep it value, but I just don't want to engage with hagglers. I can't stand them. I cannot stand hagglers. I've had it with hagglers. And the entire secondhand market is full of hagglers. And they're haggling. Sometimes people are haggling over amounts that are irrelevant, absolutely irrelevant within the scale of what they're buying. They're like, you know, it's an item that costs $80, and they're like, and I get it for $75, just so they can feel like they made a deal. Like, dude, no, it's $80. $75 and $80 is not that big of a difference. But also, because it's not that big of a difference, they're like, well, why don't you just give it at 75? But it's like, no, I set it at 80. Guy comes, picks it up, I got my money, and then he says it doesn't work. I sent him the receipt, told him to go and reclamar. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then, not to mention, like, you look at that, like, the secondhand market for like bikes and stuff is a bunch of like stolen shit too. A dirty market, the secondhand market. Although it's good to buy secondhand stuff. It is good to buy secondhand stuff. We shouldn't be producing a bunch of needless waste, but you know, it just sucks to be part of that market sometimes. Sometimes you have to. Sometimes you have to, but It is a sucky market, for sure. And with that said, I think we're going to end today's stream. It's been a ranty stream, but I think we made decent enough progress. We optimized the cars a little bit more. We fixed so they stop at red lights. We fixed the weird switch bugs in Pongo City. I think there was another lighting bug I fixed before I started the stream. I optimized some graphics as well. The build is still running, so that should be out probably tomorrow, I guess. I don't know, we'll see. Still, maybe today, we'll see. Yeah, thank you, Frosty. I'm happy with the direction. It's a big changes happening. Yeah, we're gonna see exactly what happens in the future. I wanna start working on the jobs. I wanna start having like pizzeria job and a little bit, because we have the rental system. The rants are awesome and hella engaging. Yeah, I just I need to find inner peace, you know, Kung Fu Panda style. You know, F4 menu. What's the F4 menu? Is that like a hacking menu? Dark RP. Oh, the dark RP F4 menu. Right. Yeah. Press F4 to get jobs. Oh my god. Freaking F4. Check your inventory in the F4. I mean, the B button is basically the F4 menu. Let's not lie. It has the jobs and the inventory and stuff. You just don't apply for it there. Dark RP sucks compared to Penguin Springs. No, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe this is going to be worse than Dark RP. Anyway, have a great rest of your day, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow.